Imagine you're standing in the middle of a bustling subway station in Tokyo. It's rush hour. Thousands of people are moving like a synchronized school of fish. And there, in the middle of the crowd, is a 4-year-old boy. He isn't screaming. He isn't pulling on his mother's arm or throwing a tantrum because he wants a candy bar. He is standing quietly, waiting, observant. Now, contrast that with a typical Monday morning at a mall in New York or Los Angeles. We've all seen it, the meltdown. The red-faced toddler screaming at the top of their lungs while a stressed-out parent tries to negotiate with a tiny human who has clearly lost all logic. Why is there such a massive gap? Is it genetics? No. It's a method, a philosophy. Today, we are diving deep into the 8 powerful rules of Japanese parenting that raise some of the most respectful, calm, and obedient children in the world. This isn't about tough love or strict discipline. It's about something much deeper. Something that might just change the way you look at your child forever. Let's be real for a second. In the United States, over 70% of parents report feeling completely overwhelmed by their children's behavior at least once a week. We've fallen into a trap. We think that to get results, we have to raise our voices. We think discipline means punishment. But did you know that research shows that children who are yelled at frequently actually develop a smaller prefrontal cortex? That's the part of the brain responsible for, you guessed it, emotional regulation and calm decision-making. By trying to force obedience, we are literally rewiring our kids to be more impulsive and more aggressive. Think about a typical Tuesday evening. You're exhausted from work. Your daughter refuses to put her shoes away. You say, "Put them away now or no iPad." She screams. You yell louder. The result? A house full of cortisol and a child who only obeys out of fear, not respect. In Japan, only a tiny fraction of parents report these kinds of daily power struggles. They don't use threats. They use a system that focuses on the invisible thread between parent and child. If you keep doing what you're doing, the American way of constant negotiation and high-volume correction, you're not just tired. You're building a wall between you and your child that will only get taller as they hit their teenage years. There is a golden window, and it's closing faster than you think. Between the ages of 2 and 6, a child's brain is like wet cement. Everything you do, every reaction, every whisper, every routine is leaving a permanent mark. If you miss the chance to establish a foundation of mutual respect now, you'll spend the next 15 years trying to fix the cracks. Missing this opportunity means raising an entitled child, someone who struggles with Gaman, the Japanese concept of enduring the seemingly unendurable with patience and dignity. Without this, they hit adulthood and crumble at the first sign of a difficult boss or a broken relationship. Think of it like a garden. If you don't pull the weeds and nourish the soil when the plants are young, you can't act surprised when the garden is a mess 10 years later. Studies from the University of Tokyo have shown that children raised with high levels of Kizuna, the emotional bond we're about to discuss, have significantly lower rates of anxiety and higher academic performance. This isn't just about a quiet house, it's about your child's entire future. So, how do they do it? Let's break down the exclusive solution, the 8 rules that define Japanese parenting. Rule number 1, Kizuna. This translates to the bond or the connection. In Japan, the mother-child relationship is incredibly physical and close. For the first few years, the child is almost an extension of the parent. They sleep together, they bathe together. It's not spoiling, it's building a reservoir of security. When a child feels 100% secure, they don't feel the need to act out to get attention. Rule number 2, Shitsuke. In the West, we translate this as discipline, but in Japan, it means training or polishing. Think of it like a master craftsman polishing a piece of wood. You don't hit the wood to make it smooth, you rub it gently and consistently. Rule number 3, the power of suggestion over command. Instead of saying, "Clean your room," a Japanese mother might say, "Oh, I think the toys are feeling very lonely and messy on the floor. They would be so much happier in their basket." It sounds simple, but it appeals to the child's natural empathy rather than triggering their rebellion reflex. Rule number 4, leading by example. In Japan, there is a saying, "The back of the parent is the child's teacher." If you want a calm child, you must be a calm person. If you scream at a driver who cuts you off in traffic in Chicago, don't be surprised when your son screams at his sister for taking his toy. Rule number 5, public gaman. Japanese parents teach children that their behavior impacts the wa, the harmony of the group. They are taught from age 3 that being loud in public is not just naughty, it is disrespectful to everyone around them. Rule number 6, independence through responsibility. Have you seen the show Old Enough? It features Japanese toddlers running errands alone. This builds incredible self-esteem. Rule number 7, predictable rituals. From the way they say itadakimasu before a meal to the strict bedtime routines, Japanese life is structured. Structure equals safety. And finally, rule number 8, empathy-based discipline. When a child does something wrong, the parent doesn't ask, "What is wrong with you?" They ask, "How do you think the other person felt when you did that? Does this actually work?" The data says yes. A longitudinal study conducted over 15 years by the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development found a direct correlation between proximity-based parenting, the kind seen in Japan, and a child's ability to self-regulate. In a sample of 2,000 families, the children who were raised with Kizuna principles showed a 40% higher rate of emotional resilience when faced with stress in middle school. Compare that to Group A, parents who used punitive, yelling-based discipline. Those children were 55% more likely to exhibit oppositional defiant behaviors. Dr. Hiroshi Matsumoto, a leading developmental psychologist, notes that the Japanese child obeys because they do not want to disappoint the person they love, whereas the Western child often obeys only to avoid the punishment they fear. One is internal, the other is external. Which one do you want for your kid? Okay, let's get practical. How do you turn your chaotic household into a Japanese-inspired sanctuary? We're going to do a 4-week cultural reset. Week 1, the silence phase. Your goal this week is simple. Stop yelling. Just stop. Even if the house is burning down, you speak in a low, calm whisper. You are breaking the noise cycle. When you feel that heat rising in your chest because your toddler just spilled juice on the white rug, count to 10. Whisper, "Oh dear, the floor is wet. Let's get a towel." You'll notice that your child will actually lean in to hear you. You are reclaiming the power of your voice by using it less. Week 2, the routine and ritual phase. This week, we implement the anchor. Every morning and every evening must have a ritual. In Japan, they have a specific way of setting the table. In your home in Seattle or Miami, maybe it's a specific gratitude circle before dinner. Use the formula, first we, action, then we, action, so that we can, result. For example, first we put the blocks in the bin, then we wash our hands, so that we can have our delicious snack. It's not a command, it's a roadmap. Week 3, the empathy pivot. This is the hardest week. Instead of punishing a bad behavior, you are going to label the emotion. If your son hits a friend, don't just put him in timeout. Kneel down to his eye level. Say, "I see you are feeling very frustrated because you wanted that truck. But look at your friend's face. He is sad now. His heart hurts." You are teaching him to read the room. You are building his EQ. Week 4, the independence launch. Give them a big kid job. Let your 5-year-old walk to the mailbox alone. Let them pour their own milk even if they spill. In Japan, they use hajimete no otsukai, the first errand, as a rite of passage. When a child feels trusted, they want to live up to that trust. They stop being obedient because they have to, and start being responsible because they want to. Remember, the problem isn't your child. The problem is the pattern. We've been taught that parenting is a battle of wills, but the Japanese show us it's actually a dance of souls. 90% of parents never try these techniques because they think gentle means weak. But there is nothing weak about a child who can sit quietly for an hour because they respect the world around them. To recap your journey, Week 1 is about your own self-control. Silence is your new superpower. Week 2 is about structure. Rituals create safety. Week 3 is about empathy, connecting before correcting. And Week 4 is about trust, giving them the wings to fly. Start tonight. When you put them to bed, don't just rush out to watch Netflix. Spend 5 minutes in that Kizuna bond. Just be there. Within a few days, you'll see the eyes of your child change. The defiance will soften into curiosity. If you found this deep dive into Japanese parenting helpful, hit that subscribe button and share this with a parent who looks like they're at their breaking point. We're all in this together. See you in the next episode. Stay calm and stay connected.